Go ahead. Good day. In response to the recent developments, I have prepared the following remarks, but I will not be accepting questions at this time. I congratulate the people of Prague for their calls for democracy. The Soviet Union has oppressed basic freedoms, but as always, justice will prevail. I encourage the Czechoslovakians to resist further Soviet oppression and call upon other socialist republics to fight back against the socialism so forcefully imposed. We condemn the Johnson administration for their weak policies against fighting communism. Promoting democracy should be a major goal of any American president. Only a Nixon administration will be powerful enough to pull away the Iron Curtain that sequesters our democratic allies in Prague and beyond. Our condolences are also with the French officer who was injured in the riots. It is unfortunate that such tragic loss of life will occur. But ultimately, mob rule will always fail, and law and order will always prevail. Thank you.
The United States has just tonight gotten word of a massacre of South Vietnamese civilians by American troops. We deeply condemn this horrific action, as violence against innocent civilians is always unacceptable. As a result, we have undertaken drastic domestic reforms and harsh punishments of these violators of international law. First, we will try these American troops in a military tribunal where we will dishonorably discharge them. Additionally, in order to aid South Vietnam, we will increase our humanitarian aid to them in order to show our solidarity with the South Vietnamese people. Additionally, we are taking drastic domestic reforms. We believe that the actions performed by the American troops are the direct result from a shell-shocked attitude in Vietnam. As a result, we are undergoing physical and mental rehabilitation to help support American troops and help solidify their decision-making strategies. Therefore, we will also be undergoing training for current troops in Vietnam to prevent such a horrific incident from occurring again. We agree that this is a terrible tragedy, and we must maintain a strong front to uphold American principles of justice, integrity, and honor. Thank you and good night. I will now entertain a question.
So you specifically said that you would train troops in order to combat this shell-shocked attitude that they have in Vietnam. How will the U.S. cabinet deploy these troops into battalions that are already been sent out to the battlefields that may also have that shell-shocked attitude?
Mm-hmm. So we want to focus on training efforts for the troops who are already on the ground, and that training will include courses on decision-making strategies and other ways to still be developed in order to ensure that an incident like this does not happen again.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the punishments that you mentioned at the beginning of your statement?
Yeah, so we are going to try these violators in a military tribunal where they will be dishonorably discharged from service. Anything else? Thank you. Good night.
All right, we'll now have our next speakers.
I'm the Minister of Information and Communications for Vietnam. The Vietnamese cabinet is deeply saddened and infuriated by the actions of the United States military. More than 1,000 Vietnamese villagers have just been slaughtered and raped under the orders of U.S. General Florence. We refuse to stand by idly while our people are killed, raped, and slaughtered by soldiers who fight under the guise of liberty and equality. General Florence and his men, as well as the entire military of the United States, will be held accountable for their actions. We fight not just for the people of Vietnam when we try these men on Vietnamese soil, but we fight for the rights of humans in general and for the people oppressed by the ignorant, selfish, imperialist regimes of the United States and other large, selfish Western nations. We demand the United States turn over these disgusting human beings, namely General Florence. Thank you. I will now be taking 2 questions.
By turnover, do you mean give to Vietnam's possession?
Yes, in order to try them on Vietnamese soil. I think that's the only fair way to try these individuals. Any other questions? Thank you for your time.
Okay, we'll now have our next speaker. Your 2 minutes begin now.
Good morning, everyone. I am the press secretary from the Soviet Union. I am pleased to announce that we have already solved the Czechoslovakian crisis. We have stopped a small group of radicals from taking over the country. Nixon came up here earlier inviting the Czechoslovakians to continue fighting, but as always, the United States are 2 steps behind because this problem has already been solved. Furthermore, we have directives passed in order to ensure that the problems in Czechoslovakia can never happen again, such as education, a safety net, and trials and justice to ensure that the leading rebels will be stopped and their ideas of liberalization can no longer be allowed to spread. Unfortunately, I am unable to take questions. However, thank you for your time.